Alright, so this might be the biggest keg opening video for Gwent that I've seen on the internet, and I'm happy to be doing it for you guys today. So this is my third one. I started off with 40 kegs, kept it nice and light, then we moved on to bigger, better things. We did 101 kegs. I decided to really try and outdo myself today and get 303 kegs. Now, if we're looking at the price of kegs, like I didn't buy these ones, I just simply grinded them out. This could take someone months, but it is what it is. I do this every single day. So I have increments of 60 kegs for 90 Canadian dollars. We've got 5 times this, which is just hundreds of dollars, right? So I don't recommend buying them all like this, but if you have the resources and the patience to grind it, then by all means, you can open up some kegs. But if you just want to be curious and see what you can get, is it worth it? Let's take a look at the pulls here. We've got a bit of some other stuff here too. Right, we got premium base set kegs, we got ultimate premium kegs, we got Qcento kegs, but the majority of the ones that I get myself are going to be the ultimate kegs because they pull from every single faction. These are just from reward trees. So we'll go through the normal ones first, and we'll get to like the specialty ones after the fact, okay? And I'm not going to be counting premiums, I'm not going to be counting, you know, legendaries and all that. If someone feels like keeping tabs on it, by all means. But we have so many kegs we need to open here, so let's just get started, right? I mean, this is premium, so we take it. The goal is, honestly, to get enough meteor powder that I can make everything premium. Second pull. Here we get a premium sheet roll. Okay. I feel like today's going to be a good day, right? Making sure none of them are shiny. I made a Masquerade Ball deck recently with Vanamar. If you guys want to play Nilfgaard and that's something that interests you, you go and you pick this one every single time. I don't think you'll play enough of this, and this only fits in one deck, so this is definitely the most flexible card. Premium's cool to see. Nothing really to see here. This, I mean, I think Runeword's probably the best card out of all three of them. Another premium, cool. Monsters are easiest to play. This is something you'll play most often. These have their applications, but usually there's better cards to play than this one. So I think Indrigas are just probably the way to go about it. Nice premium Petrie's Filter. Again, Van Morleham Hunter, we're using that in most decks, or many more decks. Just making sure nothing's moving here. I like Dwarven Chariot. Right now, these are really good cards. And I'm just talking about the one we choose, because I don't get to choose the other ones, right? I'm going to make a Soldiers deck soon. Soldiers are actually a bit better than I believe we give them credit. This card's pretty cool. Nice to see another one of those premium. Mage Torturer is going to be like awesome in Nilfgaard right now. Assimilate is just one of the better cards. Like just to help set up plays, give things spying. It's an engine with Assimilate, so whenever you create and play, you're getting something off of it, right? You can do some really cool things with Dwim. Every faction's got like locations right now, so. Duchess Informant for sure. Like, just kind of fitting into all the Nilfgaard stuff we're getting. I think it's a good way to go about it. We got a first legendary come out of in the poll. Okay. It's too bad none of these are premium, but I have to say, out of the three, the one that you'd probably actually play the most is Arnagod, and even then you're not playing it a lot. So I would just take it if you had the choice of the three. Another epic card here. It's definitely going to be Vigo. I don't really play Weavis, even if like I'm playing a Relics deck. I find I tend to go for a little bit different plays, more control options in that provision slot. This is a little bit of a high roll. I think Vigo is just safe. Right now, like you probably wouldn't play this. Dogs maybe for thinning. Lightmakers all day for thinning. Second choice would have been Frigate. I really like Glynis. I think Glynis is a solid mid-range card, especially if you wanted to somehow create some kind of like Siri Nova, Golden Neck, or Assimilate type deck, or something mid-rangey, like, and just cram a bunch of 7s, 8s, 9s in the deck. This could be really cool. It serves a purpose in Standard Assimilate sometimes as well, so Assimilate 2. It's pretty sweet. The Drowner Premium, that's awesome. Out of these three, I like this one for the most utility. I think it's pretty sweet. It's a very common card, so it doesn't really matter. This is one of my new, well, favorite cards from the new expansion. Giant Toad's Wild in Death Wish really adds value, adds carryover as well. You choose that every single time. Really none of them. Maybe this if you're playing like some kind of off-the-books Poison Tribute type deck. Squirrel for the MVP, 100%. Squirrel's a great card. The value that it could get's just phenomenal. Manicore is kind of cool to see. We're rounding out some of the monster stuff here too. Kurt's honestly so good. You give Bounty or you Purify, it has good base power, it's only 6 provision. You could fit it pretty much in any Syndicate deck. We had one hunting pack, we'll take 2 from the polls just cause. I'm just assuming I didn't have cards to begin with, right? Not that I have every card in the game. Primal Savagery right now is really good. If you're playing vampires, flutters are going to be necessary. If I choose this, you're going to say I should have chose this, but really I like this card better. Big Skellige fan here, so Primal Savagery is really nice. We got, I think it's our second legendary of the poll. Realistically, the Svalbard Totem's a little power crept, 12 for 10. It's still kind of good though, like I don't mind this at all. But to be trendy, Erendite, you could do some pretty cool things with this. I have a deck recently that I put together, a Pirates deck that used Erendite. So if you're looking to craft that one, you definitely want to choose this card. We're just getting good pulls now. Hjalmar just got a provision buff, right? Banish and just kill something. Really good, 9 provisions now. So, good to see. All 3 of these are, I mean, this is probably by far the best, yeah. I gotta somehow speed this up a little bit, don't we? I'm looking at the amount of kegs we got. Here. This is a new card, might as well get it. This is sick. Honestly, one of my top... It's definitely a top 10 Skellige card for sure. I've done some crazy things with that. Out of the 3 here, I think Bloody Good's the best, but Brux is Brux is underestimated, I think. Bruxa can be pretty good too. This is underestimated. I like these. Little bit of control and removal reach. You got the Symbiosis tag. Well, that's premium, so we take it. It's kind of the way it goes. If it's bronze, if it's premium, you take it over something else. Usually. Unless you just really need something and you don't care about premium cards, but... I like these quite a bit. Fond memories of just doing crazy carryover decks, right? You can get a long round of that, get tons of carryover. Premium. I'll never play this card, but it's premium. I mean, all day. This card carried so many wins for me. Back before the nerf, too. It's still Duchess. I think it's a good card. I don't run 2 in a deck. Usually it's just 1, but it's fine. Out of the 3, really, Saboteur is pretty sweet. It's interesting. Great Sword. A lot you could do with that card. Especially if you're starting off, Great Sword's like a really good Skellige card to have. I really like these. You definitely want 2 of them, because you run 2 of them with Simlas. And we got another premium here. And it's not a premium, legendary rather. I wish they were premium. I have all these. I just put out a V deck, so we might as well grab V. Out of the three, it's tough. I mean, these are really good for self wound. I think these would probably be the most commonly played out of the three. Sick. Yep. Out of the three, you're playing this more often. Self wound is actually really good, so you want that for that sort of archetype. Nice to see one of these premium. Again, it's one of these two. Dwarfs are pretty busted right now. I don't mind doing either or. Sure, we'll just grab this. Today's doing a lot for the collection, though. Roach. Roach is sweet, because it's good for thinning, but it's a little bit expensive, so... Definitely this card. It's one of the best 4 provision cards in the game right now. Out of the 3, I mean, we have a lot of the stuff that makes my Masquerade Ball deck. We'll just throw that in there in case, you know, if you have the option, you're trying to go that direction, take it. Frigate's pretty sweet. Yeah, Skellige Witchers are awesome, and these cards kind of go together for that archetype, so why not? Maybe you'll play Elves. I think this card's better than this card. We'll take that. Warriors are just really good. Pickpocket got the buff. A lot of people are trying out Syndicate or Line Pockets for the first time right now. That's probably going to be something you want. All 3 of these kind of suck. But just in case it's something premium but bugged, I'll click that. Definitely, at least you could do something with this. The middle card's not bad either. Sweet. We'll go with Alyssa. There's some pretty cool stuff you can do with Alyssa. It ventures sort of towards meme. I wouldn't go too hard with it, but you can definitely set some things up. I think Qcento has a pretty good time with Alyssa. Take it because it's premium. I don't ever play this card, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a Beast Swarm. Everyone keeps talking about doing a Beast Swarm, so maybe I'm just due for that. I play this card in my deck today that I'm going to put up. It's hard to tell if they're premium sometimes because of the glowing border. But you'll most often play, actually, like, these two. This is good, but I find a lot of people don't play it. This is actually pretty good, though. Take that with a Megascope with Skellige, you got yourself a good point swing. These can high roll. These can play for like 14 points. You need 2 of them at least in the deck, so we might as well grab the second one. These are awesome right now. I feel like it's one of those things you have to put in every single Syndicate deck if you're playing right now. I was underwhelmed like by this. We have one of these. You don't usually run 2 in a deck unless it was like OG Battle Trance. Morlorn, probably better for a newer player. These, I mean, they play for a lot of points in the long round, especially when they're bonded. Might as well just grab Crushing. It's either of these that you'll play. This is not a bad card in Self Wound. grab this because it's new. Is it actually bugging on me here? I think we broke it. Alright, so we got it back. Let's keep going. You'd probably want 2 of these if you're running Self Wound, so why not? Premium that, that's pretty cool. Out of the 3 of them, right now in the meta, this is probably the most played. But I like this one the best. I really haven't played a lot of the other 2 much. Premium Bombardment's nice. If you're going Skellige Witchers, you're going Bear Witcher Mentor as well. Probably like one of them, but... You don't play these unless you have Portal. But even right now, this feels a little power crept. It's too slow. And it's hard to get multiple procs on the same turn of Intimidate, which makes it, like, worse than Assimilate. This is why it's not in the forefront of the meta. This is a cool card. This will win you games, 100%. Okay, finally a couple good ones here. This one's the OG. I feel like Herkja is probably going to be the most, like, played at the novice intermediate level, or most useful at least. Circle Life's kind of good, if you're running Devotion. Winch. You can do that in pretty much any Northern Realms deck. Larva. These, really? They're just good. You won't really play this much. You might play this more. But it's only good for Kolgrim decks. I think we choose Winch again. Yeah, the store doesn't like when you open 300 kegs at once. Alright. There we go, another legendary here. Darin's really good. I think you want to go King Bran though, just because I think Warriors would be like the perfect thing to go for a new player. I just did a series, took a new account from rank 30 all the way to pro with Warriors, and that was one of the cards in the final version of the deck, so just Giant Toad's awesome. Probably out of the 3, I'd play Slizzard most often. This card's sick. I think this is underestimated. Especially with the Queen Meve buff. Maybe we could say AQ's making a comeback. Chimera's not a bad card. They fixed the adrenaline. Probably Slizzard. I'm not a big fan of the Corsairs. We take this as premium, but this is also one of my favorite bronze cards in the entire game, by the way. Probably playing this the most often. But still then, I don't even put it in my elf deck. I just like this one. We got the premium Dimeridian Bomb. I think Brux is the best here. Warlords are actually really sweet. Like, you should see what they do if you could play two or three of them, like with a resurrection. Like, it's actually pretty nuts. I think most often you'd use one of two. We got a lot of Qcento on the pulls. I'd probably go for Treant Boar if you're pulling Scotty Heavy right here, because, you know, you can use that card, especially in movement. The store's busted. I've never had this happen before. There we go. Fallen Knight's pretty cool. I think you're going to be playing Raging Bears most often, though. I like this card the best. Some of the choices are just preference, right? Because I had them all. These movements, awesome. You get tons of points off them. Premium. Premium, that's nice. Incubus is actually one of those cards where I used to think it wasn't very good, then I started to play it more to see for myself, and then I started to really like it, so that's pretty cool. Mamuna plays perfectly in a deck that has Incubus. This is probably the best card out of the three. I'm surprised that it's not a legendary. I think Furcart's your most versatile card here. It's a nice tutor. You probably only play this, if you even play that. I like Raiding Fleet. Like, there's so many things you could do with this card. This is kind of directly supporting the Precision Strike leader, so you'd probably want to have these if you're playing PS to begin with. Couple epics in the same pack. Probably take this, if anything. This card's pretty cool. I think it's a little power crept now, but there was a time where I thought it was really nice. Like, maybe even as far as 9.5. It wasn't too long ago, like, that I enjoyed playing the card. 200 to go. Orbs of Insight. You could do a lot with those. You could do whole decks around them. Out of the three of them, you don't really see these being played. This just got a provision buff, so maybe you grab that. Kind of cool to see a premium here. I'd say we go for this. Play a trap. It's nice. This deck has two premiums. This is probably the most busted, ridiculous bronze card in the game right now. You know, but it does require a lot of setup. I most often play Pugo if I'm choosing. Bounty's pretty sweet. That's actually a very good card. I'd probably play Tempering the most often here. Definitely this. These play for tons of points. You can even use like teleportation on them to replay them and make them worth more and stuff like that. You can get creative with it. So why not? Spores is like in every deck right now. Of the three, I might do a Beast deck soon. I'll just choose that. You already know. Got a soft spot for the Revs, so I'm going to choose Revs every time. Another premium? A-Rush is sweet. Even in today's meta, fast play if you're playing Arrakis Swarm, and a lot of points. Inexpensive. I'm a little underwhelmed with how many of the new cards we're getting. We're getting some of the bronzes, but... Here we go. Give me something. That's cool. You're probably picking Fauve 9 times out of 10 here unless you really want to play Salamander, but this card's the most flexible, I would say, out of the few. I'm not happy with all three, but I think Tortoise would be the best here if you're playing soldiers. Probably that. Collectors, I like them quite a bit. Take it back to Frost. This is one of the key cards you'll need for that deck, believe it or not. If you're playing vampires, this is so essential, but I made a Commandos deck today, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna put that card. Especially at early ranks, I feel like Commandos would be exceptionally good. This is like T1, I swear. Hard to ignore. Irish Shade, sweet. Yeah, Death Wish. Why not? Consumes. I like this one the best. Resilience is always fun. Big carryover swings. I mean, it's premium, right? We take it. Otherwise, I would have went Vildkarl in the middle. Swing. I like these quite a bit. They just slam for 9 points. And then they're kind of an engine at the same time. Diplo is pretty sweet too. First time got to Pro, I had Peaches in the deck. It was Syndicate. I don't see myself really playing a lot of these. Like, actually. But we'll just pick one. Nice. This used to be the GOAT. Like, it used to be so good. I still think it's pretty good. But just play a little bit less often now. Go for the Warlords. You want to have two. You never run a deck that has Warlords with just one Warlord, you know? Wow. That's one pack. Crystal Skull is great as a stratagem, but Brathen's is just amazing as a card. So we have to choose him. Queen Meave just got the buff. Nice. I think War of Clans is awesome. You just get to replay a bronze 4 power or 4 provision warrior from grave. This card's the most interesting. Again, T1 broken. Just a really good card. Doppler. We're getting a lot of the same cards though. Like between packs you're starting to see like a lot of similarities, I'm sure. And this is pulling from the entire card set, so you can kind of have an idea of like the drop rates here. Definitely just that, it's good. Probably tempering, but Ransackers are pretty cool. We already pulled a Mamuna today. Just in case this one's bugged, we'll choose it, but otherwise I'd probably pull Gerd if you already have Mamuna. We already pulled one of these today and one of these today. We'll go for one of these today. Why not? Alyssa is so good. I think you could do like the most with Alyssa. Well, I don't know. Like, this is a key part of one deck. This is a key part of one deck. This is okay for some decks. That's basically it. Use a tosser. I like poison. I think it's a good mechanic. You'll never play this, but I'll choose it. And don't play that card. Like, it's just not worth it. These 150 to go. We're gonna get into some of the good kegs too. Like, some of them are gonna have like all premiums, right? Gotta save the best for last. We take Remedy. This can really interrupt the opponent's play. Just do a lot of crazy stuff like that. It procs Assimilate as well. Cool. I like how we have 7 of them. We must have pulled so many today I just didn't see. Again, big fan of A-Rush. The crazy part is, like, so far, I'm thinking that if you spent, like, let's say you had a fresh account, and you spent like $400 and you got all this, like, you might be able to craft a couple full decks. I'm only grabbing this because it's a new card. And I did something pretty cool with it the other day. But yeah, like, you'd be able to craft a couple full decks, but you're missing a lot of the key golds because we're pulling, like, one gold that does this deck and another gold that does this deck, you know what I mean? It's not like we're pulling the complete lineup for one specific deck. We got a lot of stuff for warriors, though, just not all of it. Pact is your most flexible card there. Gord, you could actually make decks around Gord, right? We have a lot of Qcento pulls today. Like, if I was looking at this just a quick glance, I think we'd probably be playing Qcento or Nilfgaard. If I'm just thinking, actually Skellige had some pretty good pulls too. Monsters was like, so far for pulls. Syndicate was kind of the same. Definitely one of these. Northern Realms, I guess you could say the same thing. It'll probably change by the end of it, though. Again, all 3 of those cards in the middle were pretty flexible. I guess one of these two, probably this one. If I had to choose, Frigate for sure. You'd be running 2 in a deck, so I suppose you could just go and choose that, right? Painted L is cool, but it's one of those things that's like kind of expensive. It's 9 provisions for 6 damage, right? That's the problem with it. It's not interactive, but it's also so slow that I don't think you'd want to run the card. They could buff it, like I could see it getting a provision buff by maybe like 2, and then it's kind of good. We pulled Erendite today. Passiflora got me to pro for the first time, so we'll take Passy. Sure, why not? We got a lot of self-wound stuff already. We got some trap stuff too. Usually, rule of thumb is like, if you're looking at the pulls, you just avoid the ones that are bandits because they neglected bandits probably more than anything else in the game. So it's like you're never gonna really play them at this point. Maybe that'll change, but for the time being, you know, save your pulls for actual stuff, especially if you're buying it, right? You'll see me choose a lot of the same familiar cards though, most often, because, you know, their core bronze is like, some factions just have these ones you just want to play no matter what. Doesn't matter what sort of sub archetype or whatever, you know. Okay. At least we're completing a collection, you know, right? We got that. Cranmer got the buff. I think Cranmer is actually pretty good now. Not enough people are running Cranmer, and I'm surprised. Like, 7 provisions, 7 boost adjacents. Like, this could actually get so much value with the war chariots, but no one is playing it. Like, that was in my version. Premium. Waylays are really good since the buff. No longer needs Death Blow. This is good for Lippy or Self Wound. Premium. I mean, premium. I'm hoping that I have enough for at least like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 legendary premiums. I want to start making some more stuff looking nice. Maybe look at a couple legendaries from the new expansion and make those premium. We go for the revs. MVP. Literally. Top... I want to say Squirrel's in my top 20 list at least out of all the cards in the game. Like, I just like it. This is probably the most played right now. I could see this being the most played right now. I mean, we've got like all the elf stuff. You might as well go Venedane there. And you don't have to use Venedane in an elf deck, right? It just... it's a combo by itself, really. Relics MVP. This is a great card. Why can't this one just be moving? Actually, I already transmuted it, so we're fine. You want these in pairs, we just pulled one. Definitely Bride of the Sea. I was really underwhelmed by this card. This card used to have a time and place, now it feels kind of slow. Definitely something like that. Probably these. They're just one of the best engines in the Bronze End for Northern Realms, hands down. You can get multiple procs per turn. I wouldn't really play many of these cards, but... definitely this. That's a lame pack. How badly I wish I can open these in person, like physically just like ripping open the wrappers and looking at these. The smell of the cards, everything. I used to love opening packs of Yu-Gi-Oh cards as a kid. Even earlier than that was Pokemon cards, and then even after that it was hockey cards. We got Muzzle. This is one of my top 10 cards, I think, in the game. I really like it for a control option. Like, before they buffed it, even. City Guard. Why not? Definitely this. Might as well. Assimilate Engine. You can get pretty creative with that card as well. you're probably going to play this the most. You're not going to play this. This gets removed every time. But Voimir's okay too. I'll go with this one because it's new. This card's new, but it's not... I don't think it's great. It's funny, every time we pull one of the Fanatics, if you guys haven't realized, it's always in this same spot. It's like spawning right here. I guess one of these. This is pretty good in some decks, right? It's good in Stockpile, it's good in Inspired Zeal, Commandos, like all the types of stuff. I like this one the best. You already know. Definitely. So I feel like if I was going to get like every single one of these kegs for like one certain faction, I'd probably have like 95% of the faction's cards by the end of it, or just be able to craft like the rest of them after the fact. But I think it would be kind of boring to open all the same faction, which is why I wanted to do Ultimates still. But yeah, you can dial in your resources on like one specific faction and just pull like Northern Realms kegs or, you know, Syndicate kegs, whatever the case. Grab this. There we go. Fukusha's probably the best card for Skellige, hands down. I think it's got to be the one. I don't know. I think it is. There's a reason why it's 14 provisions, right? Huge fan of Holger. I think it's a great card. Very well priced. Does a great effect. Hard to remove. Holy, my phone's going off like crazy today. Alright. Probably one of these again. And we like the Warriors. I'm just gonna mute the phone just in case, you know. So many spam calls today, it's not even funny. It's like the third or fourth one. There we go. Peller is in pretty much every deck right now, right? So much resilience plays going around, so many defenders going around. You want to be able to purify something, or one of our engines gets locked or poisoned or whatever the case, we can purify it there. Hamadryde's good, carries Symbiosis decks. These are kind of like a key piece of a rain deck. Premium. I mean, we have enough of the chariots for one day. We'll go with the Tax Collector. Got 69 packs left to go. And when we're done here, guys, I'm going to basically go in the deck builder and see how much resources we got from it. Assuming that I have every card and I've already had 2 copies of each card. It'll kind of give us some perspective on what you can expect. Premium. Out of all 3 of these... maybe? Like, I don't know. I don't really play a lot of all 3 because they're kind of like forgotten archetype cards, but they're all fun. Yaven's really good if you're playing elves. It's like an auto include for me. Huge removal, right? You get literally 9 points of removal because it includes itself. 7 provision too. Easy to set up. Boris is like pretty sweet. Like I don't think I'd play it in this meta, but it had a place. Siggy's massive. You can make decks around Siggy. You want Siggy in like every jackpot deck. Damnation just got a buff. Another one of these. For a legendary, it doesn't seem like super rare. You already know. Definitely these. You want 2 of those in the deck. I like Jenge a lot. I'd probably pull Jenge in this case because you get the lock plus 7 base power body for only 6 provisions. False Series a consideration. I don't think you'd ever really play Black Blood unless you're just messing around. It's probably Jenge. Definitely one of these. Bounty's really strong right now, in my opinion. Throwback to Witcher 3. I had Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition on PlayStation 4. However, it just went on sale on Steam for $11 for the same edition, so I just bought it. I don't know if I'll ever play it again, because I already put like 250 hours into the game over the 2 saves I had. But again, it just nice to have it, honestly, just in case my PlayStation breaks, you know? I got a backup copy. One of these days I'll get to it though. Just long enough that I can like forget about the game and just kind of relive it fresh. Maybe when they announce like the release of the new one, like when it's actually coming, I could play that leading into the new one to kind of get in the spirit of it. Runestone's kind of fun. It feels so weird only seeing about 50 of these left when we've literally opened hundreds. Like, I'm getting carpal tunnel just sitting here clicking. Let's see. Tridem is actually being used quite frequently right now with the Priestess deck. This card's actually not bad if you're playing Elves. Again, all 3 of these cards are pretty good. This is probably your most played out of the 3, I think. Raiders for days. Every single time. I have the most wins out of any faction with Qcento by like at least 100 or so from, you know, them to the next lowest, which I think might be monsters. But Sorceresses carried so many of those wins. Yo, we already picked the muzzle today. I'm going to say, just in case it's broken, we choose this. Because the game does that sometimes, like very rarely, but I've seen situations where it's all buggy. We'll go with Beast. I think Beast is going to be your most played card. Boost by 2 every turn until it's the tallest unit on the board. Really easy to play, really effective to play. There's whole decks built around alumni. They're kind of a key piece. Maybe grab that card, start accumulating that way. Premium. Hands down best one out of the 3. I honestly don't think... Well, it's going to be this. I just like the card the best. But I don't think we've gotten more than 10 legendaries. I don't know. I haven't really been counting, but we've gotten tons of epics, right? Just not a lot of legendaries. Definitely this. You want 2 in a deck. Every single time you could fit them. If the deck is kind of built around that, you want to have 2 of those. Alumni. There you go. It's a tough life. These got the buff from 5 provision to 4. I really like them now. I liked them before, but now they just feel even better. These just continue to really impress me. There we go. Another epic. I used to play this deck that I thought was really cool back when I was like a rank 14 player. And it was Nathaniel. And I would put with this like a Corvo and just keep boosting it and giving everything bleeding, and it was like vampires. It was kind of sick. But I wouldn't advise it now. It was just fun. Okay, 10 more of the lame packs, then we're going on to the crazy ones. Well, we got the one Qcento keg, and then we'll go on to the next ones. Definitely this. Assimilate, Purify, it's got it all. I'm making a soldier's deck soon, so I'll grab this for now. Again, one of the most cards I underrated in the last several months was the Incubus. We don't take mill. You're not playing this. This is awkward without the other 2. Like, I just don't even want to take it. Definitely. Okay, 3 of these to go. Definitely. Definitely right. Okay, last one. Okay, that one more time. We'll hit back. We'll go to, yeah. Back in the day too, Harmony. This was great. It was Poison and Harmony. So you'd be able to like proc it as an engine. It's kind of like a Cupbearer equivalent because it's got the 2 things, right? Like the Poison or the Purify is the Cupbearer. Then it has like the Assimilate. This is the Harmony. So it's kind of in that same class. Both 7 provisions, right? Okay. Now, which one's first? These are the premium base set kegs. And these are the ultimate premium kegs. I think these are less exclusive than these, right? We'll find out. Okay, now we're specifically looking for ones that we don't have 2 of that are premium. This is going to be my best chance. We have them all. Wait. We got one. Let's go. Okay, nothing to see here. Two. Doesn't matter. Thinning package is always good. Thinning is winning. Most of the time. 3, 2, 2, sure. Okay. Not like I'll play it, but it's nice to have it, right? Go and take that. I'm getting that much closer to being a completionist here, right? Take one of those, why not? Two, and 2. Got them all already. I like the boats a lot. I also like hard removal. Got all these. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, last one, make it good. Nothing. I mean, it's to be expected that we have all the bronze ones at this point. Alright, we got 7 more tries. Ah, it's Dunka. Dunka's won me more games. Back in the old days, you put a Dunka, you use a tactical advantage, you let it sit there. If they can't heatwave it, they lose the game. Good times. Let's go, please, 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 please. Okay. Sahil we have. Letho or Hillick? Which one's... Okay, this one's gross. And I'll only be playing it when I'm playing V. This card's more of like... meme territory, but like also kind of good. This is kind of a flex though. I think we'll go with Letho. Take that one. Again, I don't really love Corsairs here. We've already taken like every Bountiful we pulled today, so we'll take that. Just cuz. 2-2, yeah, okay. I just think that's the best card there. Wait, is this the last one? Number 303. The underwhelming finish. So, there we go. Let's have a look at what we've gotten from all this, guys. It's like good $400 worth of kegs. Holy. Okay. I'll tell you what, I'll spend it as fast as we earned it, okay? We got enough to make some cards premium. We gotta go for the big heroes, don't we? We'll make Yaga premium. Just because I feel bad. I was trying to make a Yaga deck work, and it just didn't work. It's seen better days, so that'll be a thing. King of Beggars I'm gonna do, because I play King of Beggars frequently with Syndicate. I think it's funny how everyone went from saying this card was broken to now playing it and no one says anything about it, all in the matter of like a month. Let's see here. Is this premium? No, it's a good card. We gotta make all the heroes shine. What about Brewer? Next time I play Dwarves, just slap down a premium Brewer. Okay, we've got a few more. Karathi's already premium, that's what I'm talking about. You see how it's not showing it? I have a newfound appreciation for crack-on crates, so we'll go ahead and make up shiny here. Let's see what we got. It's so boring, but whatever. Does Melusine move? No. That's important. That's a card that would probably look sick premium. Yeah. Crazy. Let's see here. We got... Wow. Where did it all go? We gotta go to the budget, the bargain bin right now. We gotta pull out a few 200s, don't we? Most of these should already be done. Cadaverin. Let's do Cadaverin. I just play Cadaverin in a deck. It's probably not gonna do much, but we'll see. Yeah. Sometimes the liquid ones are cool, though. Junid, yes, yes. Morils. Graydon, sure. Just kidding. Ring. Okay. What about Hammond? And we got to make this last one good. Okay. Okay, Helga's already definitely. Let's see here. Wait. Oh yeah, that's base. We can't. Jutta, just because we played Jutta enough that I think that would be like one of the only couple cards we don't have in Skellige that's premium. But yeah, that's it. That's how you blow a bunch of meteor powder in one sitting and open 303 kegs. Pretty interesting with the polls. I would say that if you didn't have cards, well, now you definitely have cards. And the next time I do a keg open is probably going to be a very long time from now. It took me several months to get all these kegs, and yeah, it took me almost as long to open them, seriously. But we'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Thanks for stopping by, and next one's going to be a deck guide, so look out for that.